Hi everybody and welcome to the Share Show with Jeff Fitzpatrick. This is my new magazine program that I'm going to try and produce on a regular basis. And in this edition, we've got some insight into what we do in trading. We've got some inside track information, and then we've got a look at in the money and in the team and in the news. So let's get going. Insight in this edition covers compounding returns. It was Albert Einstein himself who said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He also said, he who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. And that's very true. So we want to be in the category of people that understand it and know how to use it. And that's exactly where we are in our investment clubs. I'm going to use Tees Traders Investment Club as an illustration example, a case study, if you like. The members each put in just £100 per month. That's about $130 over the last year. And that goes into the trading pot. The club started in March of 2020 and it has 19 members paying in. So $130 times 19 members over 13 months is $32,110. That's how much they put in. On the 7th of April 2021, the club was worth $61,158. That's an increase of 87.35%. The first $130 had been in for 13 months, the second $130 for 12 months, the fourth for 11, and so on, until you get to the latest $130, which has been in at that time for about a month. So the average amount of money that the club had over the course of the 13 months from members was $16,055. But in that calculation, the growth stays the same at $28,048. So that represents 174%. If each pound of profit was allocated to each $130, depending on how long that $130 had been in the account, the first 130 would have grown by 160%, while the latest would have grown by 9%. That's the power of compound returns. And here is a chart, a graph of the compound effect, so much loved by Einstein. But notice that it starts relatively slowly and then accelerates as it progresses. So the exciting thing for Tees Club is that it started its second year with $60,158 in the trading pot. If it can grow at the same rate over another 4 years, it should be worth $536,000. That's a profit of $338,326 on an input over that period of $148,000, so 262%. And if you take a percentage of the average member's money available to the club over the 5 years, it will have grown by 524%. I've illustrated the effect in this chart, so you can see that the input, $29,640 in year one, gathers profit every year of the 5 years, whereas the last input, the input in year 5, of course, only gets profit for 1 year. Just imagine what this would look like if we let it grow for 10 to 20 years. And the big secret, the understanding that we've got and that we're benefiting from, is that we have monthly compounding profits. Of course, this is just an illustration based on the Tees Club. And remember, the Tees Club didn't get to the $25,000 value it needed to get to be able to trade puts until it had been running between March all the way up to December. Our other clubs are straight in there at the higher level of profitability. Next, it's inside track, a look at the market. My preferred view of the overall market is to use the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And you can see the charts on both of these here have been steadily rising, as they have in fact for many, many years. However, if you look at the inset pictures on both of them, you can see that we have a slight fall. But what I want you also to notice is that that fall is still well within trend. If it gets to the white line that's underneath it, then the question is, will it bounce off and go back up, or will it cut through and go to a previous level of support? For the moment, though, we just want to make sure that we don't concern ourselves too much when we get downward movements that are within trend. We should see them as opportunities to top up our stocks and top up our trades and to get some bargains. And now my tips of the week. You may know that over the weekend and on Mondays in particular, I study the market very closely, looking at where things are going and how trends are developing. I also look at the forecast increases that we have within our own clubs and also from Value Line to see where things might take us. I then rank these, being the biggest forecast riser down to the lower ones. This week, the best, especially if you're looking to buy stocks, was BlackBerry. Yesterday, BlackBerry closed at $8.36 and it's anticipated to rise to $12. It's a fast-moving, volatile stock with great fundamentals, and it generally produces really good call income premiums. On the other hand, if you're looking for a put pick and you're going to sell puts against it, then my pick is Discovery Incorporated. You would see one of its elements as the Discovery Channel on TV. Discovery, ticker symbol DISCA, D-I-S-C-A, closed at $36.01, and it is forecast to rise to $58. That's an increase of 61%. So there's loads of scope to take a really good put sale from that. And next we have a roundup of what's happening in our clubs. That's Tees, Pentland, Diamond and Fortune. And we'll start with Tees. So the net liquid value of Tees grew by 5.9% from $57,761 to $61,174 over the course of April. Its unrealized profit and loss went from a profit of $7,847 to $10,146. So things look healthy in the Tees Investment Club. It is a closed club, so I'm sorry we can't take on any new members in it. Next, Pentland, and there will be an announcement about Pentland later in this program. However, Pentland also had a good month. Its value went up by almost 20%, but don't forget that does include fresh money that was put in. Meanwhile, the net liquid value of the Diamond Partnership went up from $313,500 to $398,000. However, there was a lot of new money in there, which also dilutes the performance a little bit. And looking at these figures, what's pretty obvious is that Diamond has some work to do. It's got around $44,000 worth. So we'll be working on that this week to get that money working for the members. Meanwhile, Fortune 200, our newest partnership's gone from $3,600 to $53,600. Obviously, that's not all trading. It's had a huge cash injection from existing members putting more money in and new members coming along. Nonetheless, it made a healthy profit during the month. Meet the team. You see us all of the time on the Zoom meetings and in videos, and I thought it was about time that we introduced ourselves. Ladies first, so Ana Rodriguez. Ana is a trader, a published author, and an administrator extraordinaire. She's originally from Spain and now lives in Ireland and Spain and keeps us guys right, and that's far more difficult than any trading. Next, Simon Warman-Fried. Simon keeps us strategically on point and has introduced many new members. Simon lives in Lanzarote, and despite our business partnership, we've not actually met each other than through Zoom. I guess that's the way the world is going. And last but not least, Owen O'Malley. 20 years experience trading and training. Owen is, in our view, amongst the best in the world as far as trading options and educating home-based traders is concerned. Oh, and then there's me. I had a very successful corporate career. I have spent the last 10 years buying, owning, building and selling businesses and still have interests in engineering and publishing. Of course, my passion is for the US stock markets, where I've traded for the past 20 years. I paid off my mortgage, I built a pension pot, and trading is now financing what is becoming a very large engineering business. Apart from loving trading, I particularly want to work with people who would otherwise be struggling to reach financial freedom and independence, and particularly those who've been hit by the recession, the pandemic, changes in pension legislation, and changes in the pensions industry. And finally, some news items. First, meeting dates. With the rapid growth of Fortune 200 Club, we've had to revise our meeting dates. This is because once clubs have got to $25,000 in value, they need to meet just before expiration Fridays. Before that, they need to meet just after expiration Fridays. Meetings for Diamond and Fortune and Tees are firstly progress review meetings and secondly trade management meetings. We believe that they can be contained within about 40 minutes. Training meetings can be held on other dates throughout the month. Here are the dates and times for forthcoming meetings for the rest of the year, and I'll put them on the website. That's smartinvestments.ai. Next, an announcement about the Pentland Club. The members of Pentland have decided by vote to merge with Fortune 200. This is not a reflection of the performance of Pentland, which is actually further ahead than Tees was after the same length of time trading. The Canny members just wanted a shortcut access to the lucrative put trades that is require a $25,000 value of the account to be able to get into. And of course, by joining Fortune, they'll get there instantly. And finally, I've taken to social media. Please look for Smart Investments, and you'll see my smiling face there as usual. Give it a like and give it a follow. This is where major announcements about what we're doing will be announced first. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all again soon. It's Jeff Fitzpatrick's Share Show. Cheerio.